Thomas! It's up for grabs now!
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira!
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it!
Fabulous solo goal by Thierry Henry.
Champions.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Arsenal match reaction just after the game between Arsenal Leeds at the Emirates, where it finished 2-1. Two early goals from Eddie Nketiah, sending off Luke Ayling as well in the first half. You would have thought it would have been a little bit easier. We conceded a goal in the 66th minute against Lorente, putting it in from a corner. First one from a corner in a long time. Should have been a lot easier than it was. But nevertheless, three more very, very crucial points, meaning that result yesterday where Spurs drew with Liverpool, although in other terms it would be a good point in other sort of realms. In this realm, it's two more points dropped by Spurs, meaning we're 4 points up with the North London derby looming. And Sheen, I forgot you was here, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You?
Yeah, man. Well, it was a bit nervier than I expected.
It was at the end. It was no good. Listen, what did you predict before the? Did you predict 3-0?
I swear it was 2-1.
I don't know. What did you predict?
I think it was. I can't remember. I think it's 2-1.
Well, you have to check on that because
If any of you loungers know what we predicted, like let us know.
I think
hello
I predicted.
hello RD.
I think I predicted 2-0, so I'll just get a point for that. But anyway, yeah, it was. We just made it nervy for no reason at the end. You know, we in total control. I think Tomiyasu was about at fault for the goal because he left his position and he went in the box and the guy had a free header at the end. Because I saw it again. Sorry, he was standing there. So, yeah. Apart from that, it was a comfortable win. Exactly what we needed. You don't want a game that you get worked out and you put a lot of effort in before the North London derby in 3 days' time. So yeah, it was good. It was a bit, as I said, nervy at the end due to our own fault for not finishing them off. Eddie Nketiah, two really good goals, looking sharp. You know, people are gonna come out again. Oh, you know, we should offer him a new contract and this and that. But people need to remember there is a contract on the table for him. It's him that is not signing it. So all in all, good points. You know, I think maybe they had when they went 10-0, sorry, not 10-0, 10 man and 2-0, I think they had the North London derby in their mind. Maybe that's why they didn't really go all out on Leeds. I don't know.
One thing that concerns me over the last few weeks is we've had opportunities to put games to bed and we haven't. Yeah, and we always had that thing, that slight concern that if we didn't finish the game, if Martinelli should have scored a couple today. I'll say it myself. I think Martinelli should have scored a couple.
Yeah, it was one time he was through on goal, wasn't he?
Yeah, he should have scored a couple. I think maybe Odegaard should have hit the target. I think Odegaard was brilliant, by the way. I'm going to say it. I think he's come on leaps and bounds. And a big hello to everyone. We're just going to let it warm up in the chats first before we drop the link. So make sure there's enough people in there. I know they're all sort of scrambling after the game and maybe having their teas and all that. So we'll give it a few minutes. And then we'll drop the link in, and you lot are welcome to come and enjoy this day with us. This North London derby now on Thursday. It's big because now they've got no choice. Now, I'd like to find out from you, Shaheen, how you would set up for this game on Thursday. Because I personally think where we're at now with 4 points, we'd go flat back 3.
I'll do exactly what Tottenham did at Liverpool.
Yeah.
And Man City.
Give them some of their own medicine.
We don't need to. All we have to do is not lose, but they have to win. So they will come out.
And where they struggle is breaking
but
teams
you know
down.
What? There's only a couple of things just worry me, you know, especially after watching today. Like imagine Cedric versus Son. That's going to be a problem.
I don't think.
But you know, Cedric wasn't great today.
Yeah, but
you know, he gave the ball away quite a few times, and
we have to give Arteta credit today, though, because he put Tomiyasu on the left and played Cedric on the right, and everyone was wondering why, and it was clearly to deal with Rafinha. And Tomiyasu more or less kept Rafinha very quiet today. Other than that,
Yeah, I
you know,
just
you
thought
say
he could have done better at the corner that they scored. But
maybe so. But the question is,
we'll let that one go. And 2-1 is not a bad result. We should have won 3 or 4-0 today, in my opinion. But
yeah, we should.
yeah, it sets it all nicely now. This is a collector's item here. So for you guys who always have a go at me, pay attention. I thought Odegaard played really well today.
You said this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but people just apparently have got an agenda against Arteta and Odegaard. So, and Arteta, he got the right team selection today. There was not a lot wrong with his subs, so he did. But mind you, we're talking about this is not a negative thing, by the way, so don't take it like that. We're playing Leeds. This is what is expected. It's not like we're putting a performance against a top team or team that is just a few places. It's a team that is
They're
struggling.
fighting relegation, Shaheen.
I know, but
as hard.
Listen, look how poor they were today. And that guy with the challenge, he's an idiot because he's not out for the season. They needed him, and after that,
that's their
they
captain.
had only one effort on target, and that was the goal that they scored. So it tells you how poor they were. But it's not a criticism. I'm just saying this is what is expected. It was a routine win. It could have. Pepe should have scored, man. That time when he was coming out and the keeper was not in goal.
Why didn't he shoot? He wanted to get it onto his left, didn't he? That's why.
You know what? I don't know if you agree with me or not, but from what I saw, Pepe, he's way short in confidence. He was not the player. He's very, he was not, with the old tricks and everything. He's just my view.
Look, it wasn't a very easy game for him to come on, though, was it? But look, very quickly before
10 man. Well,
they're sitting in a low block though. They're not like
they were coming out towards the end.
He should have hit it first time.
Finish, man.
They should have hit it first time. Let's say hello to a few people here. We've got V Roge who says they are fighting for their lives. Yes, we got CM War Game says Tomiyasu did keep Rafinha quiet. I agree with you. Toe Tag Records. So I'll have to check that out. What sort of music do you do? What sort of genre? Let us know, Toe Tag. I'll give it a look. Big 3 points, he says. Mickey York. Big up. Love the show. Watch every week. Thank you, Mickey, man. And, try and get on if you want. We'll drop a link later on if you want to come and say hello to us. I think, I'm going with Mo here. Mo Aslam says, Lev said 2-1 if I remember. Yes, Mo, I agree with you. If that is the case,
you're going with him now, yeah?
If that is the case, that's a huge 3 points for me. We'll soon find out. Shaheen said 2-0. There's a few here. RD says Jesse Marsh will show Arteta how to play the game of soccer the right way. Yeah, that aged very well. Anyway, so look.
What do you think of that guy's tackle?
Which one? Luke Ayling?
Yeah.
It looked worse than it was, but it was a red. He shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, it was a red.
And when you saw it in slow-mo...
I don't know what did he see to give him yellow? What do you think he saw?
It happened quite quick and, it was a corner and all of that. And I think those are the sort of tackles that usually without VAR you probably wouldn't have looked back at. But you know what? At least they've done the right thing. I think Gabriel's got to be careful. He's a bit rash at times, and he's got to be very, very careful. The most important thing for Thursday's game against Spurs is nothing stupid in the first 10, 15 minutes. No one getting sent off. No one leaving us down to 10 men or anything like that. We need to play this game with our heads, not our hearts. We need to be really smart with the way we play.
That Thursday game is going to be... Would you make me right if I said it's the most important game of the season?
What, for us?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course it is. This defines our
for
whole
them as
season.
well.
Yeah, for them as well. But, I mean, this defines our entire season. I mean, at the end of the day, obviously not for the board, because the board have given Arteta a new contract, whatever happens. But for the fans, us, this defines everything for us. I mean, I saw Jamie Redknapp talking about it before the game started, and he said that we're a year ahead of schedule. But moving in to 3 games remaining, 4 points ahead of your nearest rivals, playing them at their ground on Thursday, knowing what you're going into, knowing that a point even puts you in a very strong position. 2 games remaining with Everton, Newcastle, only needed to win one of those 2 to ensure we get over the line. But personally, guys, I desperately want us to do it at White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
I just,
It's
I
like,
want
you
us
remember when we won
to
the league
win
and
that
what?
game. Yeah, I want us to
gonna
win
be-
that game.
Gonna be even more sweeter. I
Yeah,
think we need that. We deserve that as a fan base. I think
they're saying,
something really big like this that would
what
it
a
would.
way to get back into top four this would be.
Yeah, exactly.
This would bring back that passion with the fans, the link with the fans and the players and the club. It's happening already, but it would be nice if that did happen. Obviously, I think Spurs are playing Burnley before that, and you were saying Burnley you think might give them a bit of a tough game at White Hart Lane, but don't forget Burnley got spanked 3-1 at home to Villa yesterday. So I'm not expecting Burnley to do any favours, man. To be honest with you.
No, your camera is just frozen. I'm gonna take a picture
Oh,
of
look
the
at
way
me. How is it
it's frozen.
frozen? You can
It's
still hear me.
frozen, and
Look
I'm
at
gonna
it. Oh, look.
edit this
Do you know
picture,
what?
and I'm gonna use
This
it
is
on
the
feature
Arteta.
show
This is the Arteta
because you
face,
look a
isn't it?
bit funny, man.
All right, let me come out. You carry on. I'm
Yeah,
going to
all
come off
right,
for a second. Carry on. Speak
all
to
right.
everyone. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what's
go on.
going on with my camera right now.
Right. Oh, that's a bit, guys. So 2-1 Arsenal. Very good result. Let's put the link in chats. Come on, have your say. I want to see what you guys think of the game, the lineup, the North London derby, and about Arteta's contract. I could hear his song being sang around the Emirates today. So come on, have your say, and let's see where this goes. Because for me, Thursday is going to be a huge game, big, big game, and nerves is going to be playing up, and Tottenham will need to win. They have to win, so they will come out and attack us, and the big question is, are we going to be able to hold defensively against Tottenham's front line? I heard somewhere that Thomas Partey might be fit for the North London derby. I don't know. I hope he is, because we could do with him on North London derby. Apart from that, really, I worry about our fullbacks a little bit. Cedric wasn't great today. He was good, but not great. Against someone like Son, I can see him struggling. It's not going to be a thing. The robot says the robot will eat you. Do you think we'll win, draw Thursday? I don't know, man. We're going to do a show out on Monday with Mo and Tom and Lev. And I'm thinking about my predictions, because we've got a prediction table going, as I'm sure you know. I don't know what to predict. I genuinely don't know. North London derby is very, very difficult to predict, because normally form goes out of window. Players who don't normally perform. Some players get nervous. I remember Spurs coming to Arsenal, and they were on really, really poor form. And next thing you know, they putting on the show, and I think they got a draw or they won. I'm not sure. I can't remember properly. So North London derby, form goes out of window. It's very, very, very difficult for me. I'm with you, CM Warmongers, on this one. I'll take a draw. I'll take a draw right now, because draw suits us perfectly. The only thing we have to do is go there and not lose. That's it. If we can come away with a draw, or even better, a win, that puts us in a really, really, really good position. Let's see what do you guys think. Let me know in the chats. What do you guys think about the North London derby? About the game? What do you think the scoreline will be? The robots will say, "I'd rather we just defend and play for the draw." I don't know. It's always difficult. It's a bit tricky, this one, because it means you have to defend for long periods of the game, and it's difficult to sustain. You need to have a very, very, very good defense to do that, and I'm not sure with how things are, and with what I saw today of the fullbacks who are going to be able to do that. And don't forget, they've got Son, Kane. They really, really, they're top players, especially Son, that is on good form. He scored yesterday against Liverpool as well. So yeah, he's going to be on top form as well. Lev, what are your thoughts on Thursday? People asking about predictions.
Whew. Boy, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. I just hope we set up correctly. I hope we don't sort of go in playing with nerves and more, as I said, with our hearts rather than our heads. I don't want us to do that. I want us to go and be strategic. I'm thinking it's going to be a draw, 1-1 or something like that. But I don't know.
You're going to go for a 1-1?
I haven't decided yet. Don't force me for the prediction yet. Yeah,
No, I'm not. Because I just said myself. I said I don't know. I can't predict the game right now. Roberts will eat you. Said best way to eat Spurs to eat them on the counter. Worst way to play them and attack them. And
100%.
I said we do exactly what they did to Liverpool to them. I think the pressure is off us now for Thursday, which will help us play our game. Spurs are under pressure. Joseph, good to see you. Fitz, big 3 points. However, yet another example of our inability to control a game, no matter the opposition or circumstances. Massive game on Thursday, but I fear for us. What's your prediction, Fitz? Let me know what's your prediction.
I like what CM has said as well. No, the robot will eat you. We'll say as well. We'll look at that in a minute. CM War Games. I'd put Tomiyasu on Sun. Yeah,
nice to see you. Why not sentiment? Why not Spurs and Mikel Arteta love Arsenal?
I like to ask why not a question. Yeah,
go on.
When is he going to be happy? What does it take for him to be happy? Even if we make top 4, but this is what robots will eat you. This is exactly what I'm saying. We need to play the game, not the occasion. That's perfectly put by robots will eat you. That's exactly what we need to do. Play the game, not the equation. We play the game normally. We have every chance. There's people queuing, starting to come in.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna put the link. I'll put the link on the chat, guys. So click on the link. Come on, join me and Lev. Let us know your thoughts on the game on Thursday, on Mikel Arteta's contract. It'll be interesting to see what you guys think. Fitz, I see you going for 2-2, man. I'll send the link if you fancy coming on. Have a chat with us.
Still good enough to.
Yeah. Hi, Mo. How are you?
Hi, how are you guys? Good evening.
Assalamu alaikum, Mo.
Alaikum assalam, Liv.
How are you? You okay?
Really missed you after West Ham match because you didn't make the show.
Sorry. We're looking to do this on a more regular basis. So, what was your thoughts on the game?
We did the job, of course, by getting the 3 points, but we made it difficult for ourselves. Little bit nervy in the late stages. An easy match. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes. Leeds going down to 10 men after 25 minutes. We should have scored another at least 2 goals. At least. Believe me, guys, all the match we were controlling. We were attacking. We were missing chances. Personally, when I was watching, I was not comfortable with the result 2-0. Personally, I was nervy even with 2-0 because we must kill the match with the 3rd goal. Conceding a goal against Leeds from the first corner of the match really is, for me, a worrying scene, really. Good match by the results, by the performance, but we should have been more clinical. Gabi had Martinelli very good match, but he missed many easy chances. Odegaard has a very good match, but he missed an easy chance. Nketiah, credit to some players, for me, standout players. Nketiah, he was good, lively. Nketiah, he do these things. He press always the defenders and the keepers. Lacazette didn't do this. Can't do this. So credit to Nketiah for his 2 goals, for his efforts. Nketiah now started this season 10 matches in all competition. Live. He scored 9 goals. 9 goals in his 10 matches that he started from the beginning. El Neni was very good and assured in midfield.
Yeah, he done well.
We should learn lessons. We should learn lessons from this match, because this performance will not benefit us in the crucial North London derby. We got the 3 points. Now the 4 points clear of Spurs, but a battle ahead of us, a tough battle. Will need to be concentrated in every second, not every minute, against a very, very good Spurs side.
Hold on. We're gonna come to Tottenham. I'll put the links in the chat. So if everybody who wants to come on, just like Fitz has done, click on the link. Come on. How are you, man? You good, Fitz?
Yeah, not bad. Nice.
First time on, Fitz, yeah?
It is, yeah.
Good,
I normally wait and criticize.
What's your thoughts on the game?
Well, as I put in my comment, it's just yet another example of our total inability to control a game, no matter who the opposition is. Watford, Everton, a rubbish Man United team. It's just a total lack of inability just to control the game. You get 1-0 up or you're 1 goal ahead, control the game. Pass the ball around. Don't do anything stupid. And I was watching it 2-0. They went down to 10 men, and I saw it coming. I said they're going to get back into this because we're just too comfortable. Since from the last 10 years of Wenger, we do not have a killer instinct. We don't just when we're 2-0 up, we don't just go for them, make it 4, and then rest. We always have to be tippy-tappy and try and score the perfect goal. It's just the lack of killer instinct is. I don't really blame Arteta. I think this was before his time, and it's continued. It's just it's not good enough. It's not good. And I really fear for us. I know we're not talking about Thursday, but I mean, when we played Watford, we let 2 goals in against Watford, for God's sake.
Do you know what, Fitz? You got a point there. What I would say is we do have a tendency, even in the games we've won over the last few weeks, leading up to this run-in, every time we go ahead, we seem to concede. And it's been quite fortunate that we've outscored teams. Even the Chelsea game. We got goals. Every time we got goals, we let them score straight back. And that could come back to haunt us. But is that down? Would you say that's down to the lack? I know we're talking about Eddie Nketiah scoring 9 goals in 10 games, Mo was saying, but I personally will say something. Maybe it's controversial to some. I still don't think he's the right man for us moving forward as a striker. However, is it because we don't have that deadly striker? Because in the games over the last 2-3 months, had we had a deadly striker like a Vlahovic, who's struggling at Juve at the moment, we probably would have won these games at a canter, a lot of these games. Yeah,
you do have a point, but regardless of who the striker is, when you're 2-0 up and they're down to 10 men, control the game. Let them run around after the ball. Control it. It's not rocket science. And yet we don't seem to be able to do it on any occasion. I don't think I've seen a game this season where we've controlled the game. Maybe Norwich when we played them away and won 5-0, or was it 5-1, whatever it was. Maybe that's the only game. It's just, and it's the basics. You taught this as a kid, as a team. Control the game. Let the opposition run after you for the ball. Let them tire themselves out. I'm just getting tired of it. We got to learn to do it. And the team is in one way. I don't blame Arteta, but the team is mirroring the manager. They're just not learning from their mistakes. We've got
Fitz.
One more thing. If we'd won 4-0, we'd have walked into Thursday with our chests out. Now we're going into Thursday with a bit of doubt. You know, a bit of doubt.
It's not that we didn't control the game. We controlled the game. We played in Leeds half, but the main problem is executing the chances, and we had many clear-cut chances for all the players, for Odegaard, for Martinelli. So it's not controlling. We controlled the game. Look at the tackles, position, corners, chances, but we didn't be clinical. We must be more clinical, executing these easy chances to another goals. We controlled the match. We made very clear-cut chances, dangerous, but we missed them. This is the problem.
Hold on. And disagree with you. We made the chances we should have put away 100%. But controlling the game is taking possession of that football and making them run after you. That's what we didn't control.
We did that.
And that's what we should have done. We didn't do that.
We have to remember, guys, it is still quite a young side, so there is some immaturity in there.
Yeah, but come on,
wait. But the midfield is experienced, and that's where you look at the likes of your Xhakas and your El Nenis and all those sort of players to take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, listen, we're up here, we're winning this game, keep the possession. I agree with Fitz in that aspect. We don't sometimes manage the game, I think, is what we're looking for. We're not managing the game right, but controlling might be the wrong word in a sense of there's many games we've played where we should have won the game. There's loads of games we've played where even the City game when we lost, we were better than them, but we lost.
Yes.
So there's a difference between controlling the game and actually being ruthless in the game and managing the game.
But Lev, if we can't control a game against 10 men, a relegated threatened Leeds, being 2-0 up, when can you control a game? So control in this instance is the correct word. We should have controlled the game, and we didn't. And that's
in this instance, you're probably
poor.
right. Yeah, I agree with you there. I would have liked us to see us.
Yeah, can I just ask you guys something? And I want to start with Fitz. What's your thoughts on Mikel Arteta's contract? Keep it clean, Fitz. Keep it clean, Fitz.
I wouldn't have given him a new contract. He's not the right man. He's not. It should be. Thank you, Arteta, for what you've done. You've got rid of the dead wood. You've instilled some discipline. Time to move on to the next manager, because he's not.
We can't do that if he gets top 4 Fitz. We can't do that if he gets top 4.
Look at. See, our problem is we don't have the right processes in place. At Arsenal, we should have all the right processes in place, and no matter who the manager is, they'll go through our process. What Arsenal are failing in is that they got so stuck on what Arsene Wenger did in his 20 years or maybe 10 years that they think they can recreate it, and you can't. That's once in a lifetime. Look at Man U. What Man U and Arsenal have done with the managers like that we had, is once in a lifetime. You cannot recreate that. Whilst we're trying to recreate that, look at Chelsea, 2 European Cups, not through the love of a manager, but through a process.
It wasn't through process, Fitz. It wasn't through process. Chelsea wasn't through process, bro. Chelsea was through money, man. It was through money.
Yeah, but the process is a football director, an owner that wants to win, putting in money, 100%. That's part of the process. Our process is, we've got to find another Wenger. We've got to find another Wenger. You won't find another Wenger.
Well, listen, we're not going to. Bro, I cannot agree with you for sacking a guy if he gets us top 4. On what grounds?
I would not give him. The question was, would I give him a new contract? I would not give him a new contract. I said, you got that year. Go through that. Come on, I do not believe other clubs are in for him. No way. PSG would want Arteta. Why? Why would they want Arteta? Because he's shown he can't handle big names. PSG are littered with big names.
Guys, let's get for real here, yeah? We've just won today, and we're going into North London Derby, 4 points ahead of Spurs, and a great chance to achieve top 4, which we haven't done in years. When do we get positive as fans? That's what I want to know.
I'm looking at a bigger picture, and my old mate Maximus will back me up on this.
So you come in. Wait. So you come in.
Maximus, big up, bro. Big up.
Coming in with gangs, no? I don't know. Maximus and Norman. Hello, bro. And all right, Maximus. You hear what Fitz has been saying?
Actually, I missed most of it. I just honestly caught the stream.
All right. Do you want to?
So if you can rehash, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Hold on. He was basically, I asked him what's his thoughts on Arteta's contract. And he said he wouldn't have given him a contract. He would have got rid of him and said, thank you for what you've done so far. And we would bring somebody else. And he's quite happy to see you.
It's funny.
Because he thinks you're in the same boat as him.
No, so here's what. I had this debate with somebody this morning. The truth is, let's be realistic. I think I would not have given him the new contract 100%. I think it's ridiculous. But if the guy finishes in the top 4, possibly top 3, the question is, and it begs to ask the question, if we get rid of him at this point, who are we replacing him with? And he's gotten us into the Champions League. It's just not. I just don't think there's any other options out there at this point. Obviously, we've kind of screwed that up ourselves. But you can't say to somebody who finished in the top 3 with a team that he finished top 8 with last season, you know what, we're going to sack you, bring somebody in, and hope for the best, because we'd kind of be starting all over again. Like I said, everybody knows I have no confidence in the guy, but you can't sack him at this point. I just don't think it's realistic to say, okay, I'm in the top 3, I'm going to get rid of the guy. And, it's a weird one. I don't have confidence he's going to win us the league or the Champions League. I'm 100% certain of that. But he's gotten us to the point where you have to say, well, I mean, what do you do? Sack him and bring who in?
I agree. And Robots Will Eat You says, I don't get why you guys keep inviting trolls. All right, we don't invite anybody. It's an open forum. The link's dropped in there. If you want to come in and have your say, Robots Will Eat You. If you don't agree with these guys, come on. and say why. I mean, it's as simple as that. But Norman, hello, bro. You've heard what these guys are saying. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I think it was a really good game for us. I didn't feel like we don't have the control over the game. I think we conceded a goal. We conceded one corner almost the entire game. They didn't have never mind the shot on target. They didn't really
two
have
touches in our box, and one of them was a goal.
I think we have total control of this game. And last time we played Leeds, I said they didn't feel like a Premier League game. It was just too easy. That's exactly what I felt today. Leeds is going to go down. They are just not good enough. So I'm really happy with the performance, and I'm looking forward to the derby.
You was happy with the performance. I have to say I was happy the first half. Second half, I was disappointed in the sense that we did not take the game by the scruff of the neck and finish it off. That's where I'm disappointed.
Because I think that's because we don't have enough goal scorers in this team. Listen, I like El Neni, I like Saka, I like Chaka in a certain degree, but these are not really goal scorers, are they? Their best attributes is not scoring. It's not shooting technique. Even Ødegaard, who I know Shaheen's favorite, but
sarcasm, Shaheen.
But Ødegaard,
Norman, you're off. You're blocked.
I'm sorry.
Quality.
If you can't see what if you
he's
can't
been our
see
best
what
player for the
Ødegaard
last 3 weeks.
is bringing to the table,
he's top quality. I mean,
he's class.
I think
Before you guys have a thing, I've actually praised him at the beginning of the show, Norman, for you to know. Thank you. Just one thing.
He's been our best player for a couple of months now.
Norman, what's your thoughts on Arteta's contract?
Listen, I think it's well deserved, especially if he's finishing in the top 4. Just one more thing before Max cuts me off, because I know he will.
I'll tell you what, Norman's come with a little bit of sarcasm today.
I know, Norman is on fire.
Listen, it really, really looks like Arteta is going to finish above world-class managers with world-class players, which we don't have. So after that, not giving him a contract is crazy. And tell you one more thing. If we are not offering him a new contract, if he wouldn't have, I would have preferred get rid of him now than not having a new contract, because we need to attract better players. We need stability, and we need to present ourselves as a club that has a vision for the future.
Listen, at the end of the day, I've always maintained if he gets top 4, he deserves his contract. If he doesn't get top 4, I was saying give him another year and we see how it goes. If he gets top
you want
4,
to say something?
If he gets top 4, we've also got Jasmeet in here as well, so make sure I get Jasmeet to have his say. But Mo, you want to say something because you keep giving this business, so go ahead, bro.
Yes, because I respect all the guys until they finish. So I
appreciate that.
I hope nobody will interrupt me with. Can I answer your question and present my point of view about Arteta? Because you asked all the guys except me.
Who asked? It was Shaheen.
Man, it's a forum. You can interject and have a conversation.
Shaheen,
you just want to read it. Why not just have a conversation?
Everyone respectively through his
let's just shut up and let you have the forum. I know that's exactly the format that you love.
You talked and I didn't interrupt you. So please,
don't get an aneurysm, buddy. Don't get an aneurysm. Don't get an aneurysm.
It's simple. I'm respectful with those guys. So please calm down. Don't talk while I'm talking.
Go on, Mo.
All right. Mo.
I respected all my.
Mo, just get on with it.
Don't get a stroke, buddy. You don't get a stroke. It's just a forum.
Mo, Maximus, please, yeah. Mo, go on.
Yes, about Arteta, I think fully deserved new contract. I agree, because for me, Arteta did a great job. He created a new atmosphere at the club, new winning mentality, new unity, new discipline. We saw many cases with some players, Guendouzi, Aubameyang, etc. This contract gives the club the stability. Before the crucial summer transfer window, we'll deal with agents, with players that will ask about the process, about the project, about the situation of the manager. We will offer Saka and other players this summer extension, and Gabriel Magalhaes also. So these players want clarity. Important thing. Some fans are mooning about this season. Who expected at the beginning of the season that Arsenal will be fourth 3 games before the end of the season above Spurs and United? This is one. Two, we are playing now for more than 2 months with the absence of Tomiyasu. He was out for 2 months, and Tierney. So our 2 great fullbacks, and with the absence of Partey, Partey, our best midfielder. And bear in mind, we don't have a world-class striker, and we are the youngest squad in the Premier League. And look at Man United situation. Look at the other clubs' situation. We are 1 point behind Chelsea. So it's normal. It's normal that he will be offered new contract. I'm trusting this young team. It's the 5th season that these players are playing together. So we must analyze realistically about the situation of our club and as it is. For me, to end, I see Arsenal future brighter and brighter regardless of this season. If we finish 4th or 5th, not the main point. The main point is what we are planning for next season and the next seasons. Arteta alongside the backing from the board.
Okay, fair enough, man. All right, Shaheen.
I know. I was just going to bring this up.
Ikram Khan
I haven't
is
even
saying,
said anything.
Shaheen, you're a disgrace, man.
What the fuck?
Is there something I don't know about?
I'm just saying.
Just me has waited so patiently.
See, guys,
and
this
quietly.
is the shit I have to deal with.
Yeah, well, bro, obviously he knows you very well.
Now.
You're a disgrace, Shaheen. Just meet, bro. Welcome to the show, bro. Thanks for coming on. Thank you for waiting patiently. What have you got to say about what you've seen today, and obviously leading up to the North London derby? We'll talk about Spurs in a minute, bro.
Yeah, well, for today, I think if he had a clinical like Odegaard, or Odegaard needs to work on his finishing. I know he creates a lot.
Martinelli, you could have scored a couple.
Yeah, that's true. But Odegaard had like 2 clear-cut chances and he couldn't finish. But I would let him off because he's been good in the past few weeks. Regarding the North London derby, I would say people are getting too confident about our top 4 chances. If we lose to Tottenham and draw against Newcastle, we'll go back to 5th. And I personally, if I had to put money, I'm not confident at all. We would get.
Really? You're not confident at all?
Why do you think we can't beat Newcastle?
Because Newcastle have only lost 1 game at home in the entire 2022.
Against who?
Against Liverpool, 1-0. That's it. So, I mean, I don't know why people are getting super confident. Like, we could easily lose to Tottenham. We have lost there 4 out of the last 5 times. And then we can draw against Newcastle. And then we're done. We're done for the season. So I don't know why people are like saying, hey, it's good, we're done, top 4 is done. We still have to wait for...
Yeah, but Jasmeet, hold on. I don't think, out of at least everybody that is on the panel, I don't think anybody has said it's done and we're finished.
No, not this panel. I'm talking in general, Twitter, YouTube, I'm watching the team. People are saying it's done, it's done.
So you think we're going to lose you think we're going to lose on Thursday?
Yeah, I think we're going to lose on Thursday. And then the Newcastle is going to be massive pressure.
Yeah.
We could
basically, you think we're not going to qualify for top 4?
Well, it's 50-50 in my opinion. Unlike what people are thinking it's done, I think it's 50-50. Like, we could easily lose and then draw to Newcastle.
How can it be 50-50 when you're 4 points ahead, though?
No, I'm saying I'm just looking at the fixtures, right?
Fixtures-wise, I understand. But what I'm saying is we're going in to the final 3 games, 4 points clear of our nearest rivals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's. We surely got to look at that as we're favourites. Regardless, you say fixtures, we should get some sort of result on Newcastle, and we should be beating Everton at home.
So if we were 4 points ahead without the head-to-head game, then yes, I agree. 4 points is a big lead. But there's a head-to-head, and that could easily go down to 1 point.
Yeah.
But it's not like Tottenham is pulling.
I agree 100%. I think.
I
think it's very difficult.
Why not? By the way, bro, if you claim to know football, you cannot be saying that. Paul Odegaard, mediocre baller. He's been our best player, in my opinion, for the last couple of months. So I don't know where you're coming at. Here's a question I'd like to throw out then, right? We talk about new contracts and all of that. Obviously, Eddie Nketiah is coming in doing a great job for us. Everyone's talking about it. Alan Smith, to the build-up of the game, says that Arsenal want to sign him up and keep him and all that sort of thing. And maybe we should look at getting one more striker so that he feels like he's got a chance to get into this team. I personally am still going to say, regardless of his performances, as good as they've been decent, but I still personally would say we need 2 strikers and we need to replace Eddie Nketiah. Who on this panel here would give Eddie a contract, and in the chats, give Eddie a contract based on his performance? Normally, you saying you would?
I would. It's simply because we're not going to have infinite money in the summer. and we need to find a central defender probably. We're going to have to find fullbacks. We're going to have to find a big, good striker who's going to cost us, a lot of money. So I don't think we can afford to spend 200 mil this summer. And if we're buying a better player than Nketiah, we're going to have to spend around 40 million on it at least.
And that's
And
fine.
if you don't want to do it, we just sign him. Why not?
No, I
It's not like he's done
disagree.
badly.
I don't think he's good enough for a club like Arsenal.
I still think he's a
enough for
horrible.
a
I think he's a
starter.
horrible footballer. I think he's a horrible player. I think he's done bits for us in the last couple of games, which is fine. But are you going to tell me? I'm going to ask you. I'll ask the panel. Do you think Eddie Nketiah gets into any team in the Premier League, starting or coming off the bench? None.
No.
None. You would not be able to name a single team
in the Premier League
that he starts.
Yeah, Premier League.
Maybe Norwich. Maybe.
Championship, maybe.
Actually, no.
Harsh,
Very harsh.
Outside the top 6, he can play in any team.
Okay, so you're delusional. We already know that. So
ahead of
let's get an
Kane.
answer from somebody who's not a complete muppet. Yeah, let's.
Oh yeah,
get an
come on!
answer
You
from-
can't call him. You can't, Max. You can't.
What
call
you
him
said?
names.
What you said?
You can't call him names
What you
because
said?
he's got a different opinion, though, bro. Like at least,
it's-
come on,
Guys, hold
This
on,
is
hold on.
delusion and
Let's
it's all
respect
like
one another.
fans. Like, come on, Eddie
No, hold
Nketiah
on, hold
starts
on.
for a team
Hold
outside
on,
the top
referees
6.
coming in here. Shaheen.
Hold on, guys, hold on. I can just see Albert, my old mate, is on, and I can see he's at the Emirates, so I don't think he's got a lot to stick around. Albert, man, how are you?
Taking
You
his
good?
data plan.
Yeah,
Yes, boys,
calm
can you hear me?
down as well, but you're good, yeah?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
man.
we can.
Yeah,
How was your
yeah, it's
thoughts
good.
on the game?
Oh, jeez, man. To be honest, you know what? I thought we'd win today. Leeds have conceded a bucket full, like 72 goals before today, man. So I was confident they'd get the win. We actually started the game well, which has not been the case many times when I've come to the Emirates. 2 goals up in the first 10, 15 minutes, which was ideal. But I thought we missed a trick in the first half. I don't know what you guys think. When I watched the Brighton Man United game, there was a period where they were 3-4 up. They could have gone 5 or 6 in about a 5-10 minute period. We missed the boat in the first half for that. Hence the reason why the pressure came on in the second half by not killing them off by getting the third goal.
Yeah. No, I agree, Albert. I agree with you. I was hoping that we'd try and sort of chip away at that goal difference as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Because in the first half, when we got those 2 early goals, it looked like they were going to capitulate. Then Luke Ayling got sent off. And I was like, okay, they're there for the taking. We get a couple of goals here. It could be 2 or 3 away from Spurs with a goal difference. But I don't know. We didn't. And maybe it's just that we think it's a bit of nerves.
Because in the second half in particular, Levs, the game for me, it drifted in the first 15, 20 minutes. And then, lo and behold, we conceded our first goal from a set piece or from a corner, should I say. And then that's when the nerves kicked in. So this is the thing. We're not, although we scored quite a few goals in the last 4 games, is that 11 in 4 games now, but we're not keeping clean sheets. That's an issue. I think that's it. I just think it's not killing teams off. That's the issue. That's not a new issue. It's the same issue with Arsenal.
That's I think what the guys have always been saying on the panel as well. 2 things, Albert, and I'll let you go after that. One,
cheers, bro.
What's your thoughts on Mikel Arteta's contract? Second one is, what's your prediction for the Tottenham game?
As for Mikel Arteta, I saw the meltdown when the contract announcement came out. My God, man, some of our fans, I don't know what to say anymore. Listen, whether you like him or you don't like him, tough. He's going to be here. They're giving him a further 2 years. I think the timing was a little bit strange because you haven't actually achieved anything yet. But they might say, well,
strange.
That's the problem.
Yeah. That was weird.
And what about Thursday, your prediction?
You know what? I think this game works in our favour, right? Just because Arsenal, for me, when we've got less possession of the ball, we're a far more dangerous team. When the onus is on us to win football matches, it becomes a problem. So Thursday, I actually think we'll get a score draw.
Okay.
That would still be decent, no?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Trust me, I wanted to go down and pummel them, but listen, Tottenham, they got some killers up front in terms of Son and Harry Kane, and I'm sure the other guy chipping as well. But it's going to be interesting because our away record at Tottenham is horrendous, as we know. It'd be so good to go there and get a win.
How would you set up in that game? They struggle against a low block. Would you go with a flat back 3, maybe with a back 3 and then some wing backs? Try and get them to break us down?
Possibly, but because Tomiyasu's back, I would go with a flat back 4 personally. Xhaka and El Neni have been solid in there, and they'll get a massive test on Thursday. People talk about the game being won in midfield, which is true, but if we can sort of maintain and keep Son relatively quiet, for me that's half the battle done.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Bro, we're gonna let you go. Yes, you can enjoy the rest
Much
of your
love,
time.
guys,
Thank
man.
you for coming in,
Big ups,
bro.
people.
Thanks, Albert.
No worries. Take care, guys, man.
Thank you, Albert. Can I just quickly address something, because I've been looking in the chats and I've been reading something that a particular person's been writing. Ahmed Al-Qadi. How is it he's put on here, the repeated insults are accepted on this channel? Never accepted any insults on this channel, Ahmed. And in fact, I jumped in when there was insults. I've been watching you guys for some time, but you're allowing these insults. Maybe no, Ahmed, listen, your choice if you want to watch or not. But if you want to come in and have your say, you're welcome to. And if you want to try and moderate when a load of people are on at the same time, I'd like to see you do it. But we do not accept any type of insults on this channel. We do say it as it is. And if that's the reason you stop watching AFTV, then I'm sure they have the same sort of issues and they're a far bigger channel than us. But anyway, moving on. So, guys, got a Spurs game coming up, North London Derby. We know that, Thursday. Boy, I mean, let's get some predictions. Starting with Mo, because I know you've had a lot to say today, Mo. How do you see us lining up against Spurs, and what do you predict happening?
I think we can play back three. I agree with Albert. It's more suitable for us to give more position of the ball for Tottenham and to defend deeply in our half and to rely on counter attacks. This will prevent Spurs from the spaces they need, because against Liverpool, every counter attack for Spurs, they were threatening Liverpool. I think Tomiyasu should play at the side of Son. If Son is at the right, he play at the right. If he's at the left, Tomiyasu, I think, must play on the same side of Son. Give him some fight, because Cedric against Son is a loose battle. We must defend very good. Must be disciplined. Don't commit any error. Don't give them spaces. They have two advantages. One advantage, Spurs, is that they're playing at home. Second, they have world-class strikers with Kane and Son. Today, one worrying scene of the match, and I will connect it with the Spurs game. Today, the less player that was convincing is Saka. Today, he was very quiet today against Leeds. So we need Saka with the best performance as the last matches, the last few weeks in this crucial match. I'll take a draw against Spurs.
Okay. So do you predict a draw?
Yes. Very difficult game, really.
Okay.
We must play wisely.
Okay, what you guys see it going at, and can we keep it civil? Don't call each other names, because we've had enough people moaning about it today. Maximus, that's aimed at you as well, bro. How do you guys see it going? Maximus, go.
Yeah, I think we're gonna I think a back three actually would be smarter, but I think my concern would be the center halves. I'm not sure if Benjamin White's going to be back. You guys could probably confirm that. So I'm not sure if he's going to be back. I think we're probably going to need him against.
Well, I truly don't. He was close today, wasn't he? Didn't he have a fitness test today or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not certain. So I think I don't trust Rob Holding against Harry Kane and Son. To be fair, I would actually have a little bit more confidence in Benjamin White and Gabriel at the back. Tomiyasu, I think, should stay in. My concern is Cedric as well. So I think Cedric was, to me personally, and this is, I mean, obviously you guys, this is open for debate, but I think he was one of the poorest players on the pitch today. I actually don't like the way he plays.
Who's that?
Cedric.
I said that earlier as well.
He gives the ball away. He did us on the ball way too long. I think
if he comes up against Son, I think Son is going to just do it.
Son's going to roast them. He cannot play on that side, or we're going to get absolutely destroyed. So I think I don't see Mikel making the changes there. So, but I do have some concerns. I think if we do look at the fixtures, I think to Jasmeet's point, I'm actually not really that confident, because they have a couple gimme games after they play us. I think they're playing Burnley. I know they're fighting for survival, but they also have Norwich. They're on the beach, and I think playing Newcastle, I don't think we're going to win that game. It's not going to be as easy. Sorry, let me not say that. I don't think it's going to be as easy as we think it's going to be. Spurs, if this goes wrong, will be low on confidence going into a game against Newcastle. We're going to probably be up for it against us. We have to really be concerned, I think, about our last couple of games. And Everton, obviously, fighting for their lives. They've just beaten Chelsea. They've beaten Leicester. Who's to say they're not going to pick something up against us? We should really be concerned, especially, I think, this match against Tottenham. I think the best approach would be to, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm one of those guys, a massive proponent of playing on the front foot. But I do believe that conceding possession in a game like this and making them put the onus on them to come after us. Because if we do draw, we're still what? There's still what, 4 points or something with two.
They have
two games?
to win, Maximus. They have
to win.
Yeah.
So I think for us to play on the back foot and put the impetus on them to come out, and then we hit them on the counter, is probably the best approach to frustrate them. I think we're gonna have to go in with that. I'll be honest. I'll really settle for Mourinho type performance in this game. I really would. We have to go in there and not be stupid and play Wenger type football in this game, where we go gung ho and get hit on the break by Harry Kane and Son, because we've seen this multiple times. I think if we stick to that plan, I think we can finish the game with possibly, I think at 1 point I'll be happy with that.
You'd be happy with a draw,
sure,
yeah?
But I'll be happy with a draw, to be fair.
Okay, thanks for that. And anyone else who just meet? What do you see happening, and how would you approach the game?
I predict a 1-0 loss, but I would definitely go with the back three because like you said, Tottenham, like when they are against a low block, they usually can't score, but they can score on a counter attack. So I would go for a back three. If Ben White is not available, I would go for Gabriel, Rob Holding, and Tomiyasu as the three centre backs, and Cedric and Nuno as the wing backs. If we set up like back five, then
Can I just say something, Jasmine? I've just seen Mikel Arteta has said very, very likely that Ben White will be back for the North London Derby.
Okay. Well, I would still go with the back three, but then I would go Ben White, Gabriel, and Rob Holding as a back three. But yeah, I mean, that's the perfect game plan. But knowing Arteta, I won't be surprised if he goes with the back four. And I think if he does go with the back four, we will definitely lose this game. So yeah, I mean,
lose it.
Yeah. We'll definitely lose this game because I know if we try to score, that's what Spurs do. They hit on the counter and they'll score. So
I don't think that's going to happen, though, Jasmine. I don't think that'll happen.
Mikel will be stupid to go with the back four and go on the front foot. He has to go with the back three, and yeah.
I think he'll like the same he did against Chelsea.
He should.
I really do. I think that's how he's going to line up. And I do like the idea of Tomiyasu up against Son. I'm much more comfortable with Tomiyasu facing Son on a one-on-one. So it's going to be interesting. Shaheen, how would you do set up then? You'd be very quiet.
Exactly what Tottenham did to Liverpool. I'll do that to them, because if we go toe to toe with Tottenham, it probably won't end well. They need to win, so they will come out to score. They have to score, and it's just set up nicely for us to sit back, defend, and we've got Nketiah, we've got Martinelli and Saka, who are three pacey strikers that we can hit the ball on the counter and they can run into it and make something of it. We need to be able to control Son and Kane. If we can control these two, we've got a chance. Because if you take these two out of Tottenham's team, the rest is pretty average. Let's be honest.
Isn't taking that space in behind our defense to run into, which is Son's strength?
Yeah.
Isn't that taking away the strength anyway? Because if you drop a little bit deeper, they can't counter you. They can't run in behind, right? So then they've got to sit there and try and break you down. And I think that's where Spurs will struggle. So I think by the way you set up, it takes Son and Harry Kane's strength away. Fitz, you been here? Oh, Brad is snuck in as well. How you doing, bro? Fitz, how would you set up and what's your prediction?
I think I would personally go with the back three, but I think regardless if it's a back three or back four, there's kind of crucial things. Tavares or Tavage should be nowhere near the start.
Tavage sounds like an 80s soul band, by the way.
I think that's how you pronounce his name, though. But anyway,
is it? Yeah.
He should be nowhere near the game. He's an awful defender. His defending all over the pitch is abysmal, and he should be nowhere near the team. Cedric worries me, but what are you going to do? But regardless if it's a back three or a back four, one thing we must do, every player has to be up for it. every single player has to be up for it. They have to be up for it and have to perform for 90 minutes. And I can't see it because I haven't seen us do it this season. I saw us do it for a fantastic 45 minutes against Man City at home.
Yep.
But we didn't sustain it beyond that. But to get something out of that game, because it is a massive game against a good team with a world-class manager, every player has to be up for it. No passengers whatsoever.
Yep.
So I said 2-2. That's more my heart than my head, I have to be honest, because I've seen us concede too many bad goals against rubbish teams, and Spurs ain't no rubbish team. But we really have to be up for it for the whole 90 minutes. I just want to be so proud of them at the end of that 90 minutes.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed, Fitz, man. Brandon, how you doing, bro? We haven't heard your take on the game and all of that, and loving the new backdrop, bro.
Let me just hold on, Brandon,
go on.
1 second before you come in.
I
just want to clear out the screen a little bit so we can.
Okay.
Brandon, I'm gonna bring you in. Just hold on. Jasmeet, I know we lost your picture as well. Do you want to have your final say and then?
No, I'm just saying that the home crowd will play a huge role in the North London derby. Form goes out of the window in these games usually, so we need to be ready. We need to play with the back five, and hopefully we can nick a draw. I'm not confident at all, but yeah, hopefully we'll get a draw at least.
Jasmeet, get some confidence, bro. Come on, man. Like I want you to, like you coming in with this energy, like you think it's done already, and I think we're gonna lose and all that. Bro, come on, have some belief, man. But thank you for coming on. Though.
Thanks for coming on, Jasmeet. Thank you for coming on, and hopefully, in future you can have more confidence about the team, and they'll perform in a way for you to have confidence. Look after yourself. Who else? Fitz, I know you're the first one who came in, so if you want to have your final thought, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, I'm nervous already for Thursday. Let's see how it goes. And if all the boys stand up and perform, I think we can do it. But I have grave doubts based on what I said previously. So Mo, see you, Mo, Norman, Maximus, and True Gunner. I'll follow your channel, mate. Brilliant. All right, cheers, Shaheen. Lev,
thank you, Fitz. It's not good to see you, man.
Respect,
Fitz. Yeah?
Stop winding Shaheen up all the time.
Who, me? No.
Yeah, you do, mate.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Fitz, you're the man. You're the man, Fitz. Come on more often,
boys.
brother.
True Gunners. What up,
See you later.
son?
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you later, Fitz.
Norman, do you want to have your final thought as well?
Yeah, quickly on the Tottenham game, I hadn't had the chance. I personally wouldn't go on with 5 on the back because that would allow them possession. And even though they don't have good crossers, Harry Kane could be, for example, Ben White anytime for a cross. So I would not do that. I would play to our strengths. I would have the ball. I would have no Tavares or Tavares or whatever it is. I wouldn't have him nowhere near this game because he's too, anxious on the ball. And I think we just need to keep possession and as I said, build on our strengths. I predict a 0-0.
Okay. Thanks for coming on, brother. It's
Thank
always
you,
good
Norman, man. Respect, bro.
Look after yourself, yeah.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Good one, Norman.
Wait, we won today. I just wanted to let everybody know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Lev.
Yeah.
I have a little birdie. A little birdie has told me that when they announced Mikel Arteta's contract, the biggest cheer in London came from True Gunner TV. I don't know if that's true or not, but boy, what's happening, man? How are you, Brandon?
I'm good, mate. How are you? How's everybody?
Very good, very good. What's your thoughts on the game?
You're right, Lev. We did win today. I'm pleased. I'm actually pleased.
Yeah. Okay, it was a bit more difficult than it should have been.
Yeah, complete domination from Arsenal, but we lack killers. That's what we lack. We lack killers and experience and know how to close these games out, and that's our biggest problem at the moment. That's why we don't close out certain games like this, and it could have become a sticky final, 15 minutes, which it was. But it could have been a sticky game to begin with anyway, because, Leeds are fighting for their lives as it is.
Yeah.
So, we've got to take the positives from the fact that we went 2-0 up quite early on. We created loads and loads and loads of chances. But like I say, we just need to finish our dinner next time. And then it's not so nervy towards the end.
Martinelli missed quite a few today, didn't he?
But the point being is, I suppose, at this stage of the season, it is all about results, not so much about performances, but it's about the results. So, You know, I'm confident that we've got Champions League football. I think.
Jesus, True Gunners TV being positive today.
I know. Brenda was saying we've got Champions League football already.
I think we've got it, mate. I think we have. I don't see us losing to Spurs, but I think it'll end up being a draw. To be honest with you, I do.
Still not a bad result if that happens.
For that game, I think, in my opinion, I think Arteta has to match Antonio Conte system-wise. I think three at the back, push our wing backs high, try and push their wing backs back as far as we possibly can, because most of their attacks come down.
Take away the space in behind to run into, basically, is what you're saying.
Exactly
right?
that. And yeah, I think that's what he needs to do. But luckily, I'm not Mikel Arteta. I don't get paid £6 million a year to make these decisions. He does. So we'll see what he comes up with. But yeah, that's about it, really, lads. All I can say is it's going to be a massive, massive, massive summer for Arsenal, especially if we get that Champions League.
Oh yeah, it changes the whole perception of the transfer window.
And the thing is, as well, is we're saying about Arteta's new contract, right? This is where things have changed slightly for me, because as much as I'm not a massive fan of Arteta, I don't think I ever will be a massive fan of Arteta unless he goes on and wins as a league title and just completely proves me wrong altogether. But I don't particularly see that happen. I think he's, But anyway, with regards to Arteta and his new contract, I think that ultimately changes the way that Arteta out fans should think. And it changes the way that I think. Because now it's no longer Arteta's fault, in my opinion. Yeah, whether he's a good manager or not, it's now the blame has been taken away from him because the Cronkies have decided to give him this new contract, which has showed the fan base that ultimately at the start of the season, Arsenal fans are saying, yeah, but the ambition was Champions League football. Well, they've given him the contract before he's achieved Champions League football. So that shows that the Cronkies' ambitions was never Champions League football. It was always to get back to where we were when Arteta first took over. What I'll be interested to see now is we see it under Arsene Wenger, 22 years consecutively we qualified for the Champions League and we finished in the top four. Are we going to go back to being that club that is happy with top four? Or are we actually going to make that push and that progress from now on? That's not down to Arteta as much. It's more down to the ambitions from the owners from now on. And they've chose to give this guy the new contract. They believe he's the man to do that. So if ultimately he ends up failing, it's not his fault. It's the Cronkies. So in my opinion, although I'm Arteta out to a degree, now the blame no longer lies with him. It's down to the owners.
Just one question, though, because I do sort of agree with your point and perspective. But I think with regards to resigning, let's say he was to resign Eddie Nketiah and not exactly bring in a top level striker at the club, and then we obviously fall short again next season, would you put the blame on him then? Because I think, for me personally, I think recruitment is pivotal. Yeah, they're supporting him, but making the decision ultimately to re-sign like Eddie Nketiah, for me, would be a massive failure. I think we need to show ambition and say, okay, we're going to get an elite striker in. Yes, we need squad players, and I've been looking at the chat. I do agree with that, but I think we need to, if we want to compete with the elites at this point, we need to have elite strikers and an elite backup striker as well. So for me, if he opts to re-sign Eddie Nketiah and then we fall short again, then we would kind of have this perpetual excuse of, well, we didn't really have the quality of players when we had injuries, and we're kind of in that cycle again. So I think the blame would lie on him. I'm not sure how you see that, but that would just be my perspective.
No, I 100% agree with your managerial, decisions that he has to make, and recruitment decisions that have to be made through him, Edu, and Vinay have to be absolutely spot on. And if he chose to give Eddie Nketiah a new contract rather than sign a top quality striker, then yeah, I'd understand that to a degree as well. But then it's also up to the people that are above him to say, look, we can give you this guy instead. What, like push him, give him 250 million again this summer and let him go out and spend that. Because let's be honest, right, he did get the majority of the recruitment right in the summer. You know, you look at how Ramsdale's performed for us, Tomiyasu, even Odegaard to a certain degree. I know
Ben White.
He's
Yeah,
been,
yeah.
he's been all right. He's been pretty decent. So you've got to trust him again with the recruitment and see if he can take us to that next level again. But it comes down to the owners have offered him the new contract. They think he's the guy. If he ends up making all these decisions and they end up being the wrong decisions that take us backwards again, it's not necessarily Arteta's fault. It's more the owner's fault. You know, if he turns out to be a crap manager that can't take us forward, that's what the Cronkies have invested in. So
can I just step in, guys? Can I just step in? Sorry, Brandon. I hear what you guys are saying, and this is pretty good as well, because in the sense of what Brandon's saying is, if he does get into top 4, then is it going to be a case of, oh, we're happy we're in the top 4, or are we really going to push to those next levels and really? And I think seeing Arteta is quite an arrogant guy. I would personally see him want to challenge those guys at the top out of his own arrogance. If Maximus is saying, if we keep Nketiah and we don't replace with 2 strikers, I would agree in the sense that that's lacking a bit of ambition. But we got another guy in here, Dean Mobley. Dean, I see you on Twitter all the time, bro. We communicate a lot. Thank you for the banter and thank you for coming on. What do you have to say about what you've seen today and what you've been hearing?
Look, I just wanted to share a bit of positivity because
that's it, Dean. Thank you, bro.
At the minute, I'm a happy gunner. I mean, we're not perfect. Nobody's saying that we're perfect.
No, we're not.
But if you'd have said to me 4 weeks ago, before we played Chelsea, would we be in this position today? I'd have probably laughed at you and said no.
Fair point.
You know, I didn't see us beating Chelsea, but we did. I didn't really see us beating Man United, but we did. West Ham, I thought, was a tough banana skin for us. We didn't play well, but we still got the win. And if we're going to compete for the top 4, we have got to win ugly, and we won ugly against West Ham. Today was another example. First 45 minutes, we were great. Yes, we lacked that final third. We could have put them to bed in the first 20 minutes, but I think that will be addressed in the summer with the striker that we get in. I mean, Arteta signing this new contract, I do agree with the panel. I think the timing of it was a bit wrong. However, if he gets us in the Champions League, I think he deserves a new contract. And don't get me wrong, I'm still on the fence with Arteta. I'm not highly convinced, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I agree with what Maximus said earlier.
You can't believe it, yeah?
Yeah, I can't. But who do you bring in that's available now that is probably better than Arteta at the moment? I can't think of one.
Yeah, it's true, because if he beats Conte, then that dispels the narrative that, that Conte is available. He's gone toe to toe with him. So if he finishes above him, there's no argument for, Antonio Conte is a better manager. He's out there. Kind of dispels that. So I agree. I think if he gets us into the top 4, beating Tottenham or even getting a draw and finishing above them, essentially, who do you bring in? You can't. There's nobody else. Listen, I'm Arteta out. Everybody knows my perspective, but I'm realistic. That's the thing, and I'm all for the betterment of the club. So for me personally, I could care less as long as we're moving forward. That's all that matters to me. I don't particularly like him. I don't particularly think we'll win the league or the Champions League with him. But you can't say you're going to get rid of him and bring who in? Because all of the managers that people are saying technically, I said as well that were possibly better than him. He's finishing above them. Really, he could potentially finish above Tuchel. That's crazy.
Good point. Can I just throw something in before you guys carry on as well? Do we agree?
I think Mo wanted to say something as well, Lev.
Okay, 1 second. Do you guys also agree about what Klopp said recently in the sense of Conte's style? And would it have even suited the way that Arsenal like to play? Mo, you wanted to say something. Go ahead, because I don't want you to get upset with me, bro.
Yes. About Nketiah. For me, my thoughts, if Nketiah stays, it doesn't mean that we will not sign a striker. Definitely, surely, we will sign a world-class striker to be number 1, to lead the line. And for me, if Nketiah stays, and Arteta must convince him about game time to stay, because he declared that what matters for me is to play. If Nketiah stays as number 2 backup, as a backup for the main striker, and plays in the cups games, and to be backup in the league, if he said okay, for me, It's good. Nketiah is a good striker. He's 23. He will get better. Now, he's better than Lacazette, who will leave surely. And if Lacazette stays as number 2 striker, and we bring another top world-class striker, maybe another winger, and Balogun will be maybe number 3 striker when he return from loan. For me, it's okay. If he said no and he will leave, we have then to sign 2 very good strikers. This is my point about Nketiah.
Well, listen, I personally don't think Eddie's good enough. That's my opinion. I'm
I
allowed,
agree.
you know, we're entitled to it.
It's
But
worth
like,
mentioning as well. Hold on, it's worth mentioning that there is a contract offer on the table for Eddie Nketiah. He's the one that is not signing this. So it's
Yes.
not that Arsenal are not offering him or Arsenal
But the
want to sign
question
that.
is,
There
Shaheen,
is an offer
is
on
it
the
a
table.
contract because they want to keep him, or is it a contract because they want to make money from him? Brandon, you want to say something?
Either way, there is a contract on the table.
For me, Arteta is convinced of Nketiah. At the end of the season, will be the decision. If Nketiah convinced of the game time and in the future, for me, as a second striker, is a good striker, not the main striker. Second, backup to the main.
I think
what I would say about Arteta signing this new contract, to me, for him to sign that new contract, he would have had some demands. Like he would have,
Would he, Dean?
Well, I think he would.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think Arteta he will want to be financially backed. He knows. The thing with Arteta, he knows what he wants. Whether we agree with him half the time is a different matter. But he has got this vision that he wants to implement.
And he sticks with it, Dean, as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is stuck with it. So I think with him signing this new contract, I think he would have wanted some assurances from the owners. I think the owners and Arteta know who they want to bring in. And I think it depends on whether we finish in the Champions League or not. With the Nketiah thing, I don't think he's the man to take us forward. If we want to progress, Nketiah he's not good enough for the squad. I would say that I do think he should go.
Thank you, D. Brandon, go on, bro.
Yeah, I think the contract that's on the table for Nketiah is because Arteta wants to keep him here. I think if it was to make money off of him,
would have done it a couple of seasons back.
We would have took the 20 million that Crystal Palace offered us. That's what I think.
I agree.
Also, Maximus, just to go back to your point again about who would we get in that would be better than Arteta, and if he kind of beats Conte, then it kind of dispels that argument. It doesn't really, because Arteta spent £250 million and Conte hasn't. That's all I'd say on that one. Yeah. And then also, I agree with Dean. I do think that Arteta would have made some demands, and he would have had every right to make the demands, because at the end of the day, the beginning of the season, the Cronkies have clearly stated that they expected him to get in top 6. He's made that push for Champions League. So he can sit there and say, well, you said top 6. I've gone a step further and I've pretty much got us in the Champions League. So these are the demands that I want in order to sign this contract. And they have to give it to him. They have to give it to him. Now, like I said before, if it doesn't work out now, they've offered him that new contract. It's not Arteta's fault anymore. It is the Cronkies. It's the Cronkies. They've trusted in this guy. It's down to the Cronkies now. And, they've got to show face. They've got to give him the money to spend.
Yes.
And then go from there and see what happens. But I think we need 8 players in the summer. I'll be honest.
I agree.
Really
I think it's just a terrible, for me, I think personally it would be a terrible start for us to keep players like Eddie Nketiah even as a backup. I was not suggesting that he should be our starting striker, but I do believe that even as a backup, I don't think he's good enough. I think there's just way too many better caliber players out there. Like I said, I personally don't think he gets into any team in the Premier League on the bench even, and that's just me personally. If you go through each team, you ask yourself, where does Nketiah start? And you start looking at it and you're thinking, yeah, bloody hell, where does he even start? And I just think we need to get quality players in attack, at least. I think, can we say we've improved defensively? We look better. Do the numbers lie? Kind of, it's about the same, but I do think we need to improve in our attack. I think we need more like Brandon said, kill us up front. I think before we kind of had that with certain types of midfielders who would give us 10, 12 goals here or there a season. I think the only player that's doing that right now is Emil Smith-Rowe, and he doesn't really play. Simply because I think we're trying to utilize Martinelli's pace, obviously, against certain teams tactically. So I do think we need to get some proper attackers in that's gonna put at least 10, 15 goals, 10 assists a season as well. I think Odegaard is one of those players that needs to kind of step up on the goal sheet as well. So yeah, he does have it ahead of him. I want to see what we do, and then I'm gonna be convinced. But I will say that re-signing Eddie Nketiah wouldn't be a good start for me. I'll be honest, I'd be really, really dissatisfied with seeing that.
Well, I'm just looking at some of the chats there. Hefty Impala says, laugh my ass off. You guys are speaking BS. Eddie has multiple offers to be a starter in the Prem. So clearly Hefty Impala is an agent.
And that's fine if you think he's a top striker. If you think Eddie Nketiah is a striker that's going to take Arsenal forward, this is exactly why we're in the position that we are right now as a club.
I agree with Maximus on this one and disagree with Mo. I don't think there's a lot of teams that he will start on Eddie Nketiah.
Not only that,
when Lacazette was playing for 2 or 3 months up front, and now Nketiah are playing for the last 5 or 6 matches. Compare the performances, the efficiency, and the goals between Lacazette and Nketiah.
That's fine. I agree with you. I respect your point, but what I'm saying is, like, scoring tap-ins against Mignolet and having somebody like who's a top striker.
He's working hard. He's working hard,
and I totally agree with that. But this is the problem. We need to dispel this narrative that quality is, being able to run around and work rate. Because I used to use this argument as well against.
He can score goals. He's the top scorer of England under 21 and the top scorer of our under 23.
But I don't think he's the type of striker. Would he get in at Liverpool? Would he get in at Man City? Would he get in at Chelsea? Will he start at Tottenham? He would not. And if we're saying that we need to argue,
is that what you're saying? Sorry, Max. So I just want to know, Mo, would you keep him? Is that what you're saying?
For me, I said my opinion. As a backup,
you'd keep him.
As number two striker, yes. And we will bring another top class striker. If this is the case, I agree.
Can I ask you a question, if you don't mind? I'll just ask you this question. You think we're competing with, hypothetically, if we want to compete with the Man Cities and the Liverpools and the Chelseas, does Eddie Nketiah get into any of those 3 teams? You could just answer yes or no. I'll be fine with that. Yes or no.
You must have a depth in the squad.
No, I'm asking you. Does he get on the bench? That's what I'm asking. Does he get on the
same level? Harry Kane is a world class striker. Is Tottenham have at the bench a player that nears Harry Kane top quality?
That's not what I'm saying.
Answer me.
I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you.
Answer me.
If we
Harry Kane is a world class striker. We agree.
The only thing I would say,
does Tottenham has a replacement for Harry Kane?
Mo, the only thing I would say is Nketiah has made it quite clear already that he's not signing the contract, not because he doesn't want to be at Arsenal, but because he wants to play more. So
game time, yes, he said this, yes.
If you're keeping him as a second choice striker, then he's not playing more, so he ain't going to sign that contract.
No. Bear in mind that next year we'll be in Europe. We have the Cups games domestically and Europe and the league. So many.
No, I agree.
Many game time.
I agree, but on top of that, the best teams in the world are ruthless.
Yeah.
Arsenal need to be more ruthless, and Nketiah's not signing a contract.
Look at his statistics. Look at his statistics. 10 starts in all competition, 9 goals.
I would argue this. I would argue this to you, Mo. El Neni, since he's come in, has probably been our best midfielder.
Yes, he's very good.
Is he good enough to play for Arsenal regularly?
As a backup, yes.
Is he always going to be a 4th, 5th choice midfielder? Yes. We need to upgrade these players, not keep them.
I agree with you. We must have depth in the squad. Depth.
Yeah. Upgrade.
Yes, upgrade in the starting 11 and a depth in the bench.
Having players like El Neni coming on, don't get me wrong, he's done a fantastic job. I'm not even going to take that away from him. But what I'm saying is that we need to upgrade even on our backup players if we want to compete with the elite teams. That's simply what I'm saying. Is he doing a great job now? Sure. But this is the problem we have as Arsenal fans. We're just wanting to accept where we are.
The backup players now are playing now in the first
Yes,
11
but they're
in
not
Kepia
going
and
to be
Elneny.
able to
When
compete
you
with the
when you
elite
bring
when we want
when you
to
bring a better players,
the
that
next
this is my
season.
point. When you
I'll
bring
give you a
a better
hypothetical.
players that we in
I'll give you a
place of
hypothetical.
them in the ground, and they will be back on the bench.
I'll give you a hypothetical situation in sports and in all sports and in football. So, for example, if we decide we're playing Man City next season, right, and injuries are going to happen, you know that, we all know that, and Arsenal are notoriously known for having injuries, right? And if we want to compete with teams like that, right, and we have, let's say, an injury to Thomas Partey, who do we want to replace him coming in for pivotal games? We want a top level midfielder who's competing and pushing Thomas Partey. So I'm saying Elneny, for me personally,
next summer we must
Hold on,
address
hold on, let him finish.
yeah, I'm
Let
just
him
saying
finish.
for me personally, for me, I think if we upgrade on that, we're going to be at the level where we can compete when we do have injuries, as opposed
I
to
agree.
when we went through that 3-game period. Do you know where we would be right now had we been able to get 3 points, even 6 points or 4 points from the 9 points that we lost against
It'd be
3
done
teams that
now.
were gimmies?
We'd be done
We'd be
now.
laughing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And it's because
I
he had
agree
to
with
fiddle.
you, and
He had to fiddle with
with
the lineup. He had to find the right balance, and it's only until the end he decided, when we're playing Chelsea, you know what, maybe Mohamed Elneny will actually do a pretty good job here. That's what I'm saying. If we had a quality backup that comes in right away, and he's not dithering and tinkering with the team, we would have picked up those points, and those are pivotal points. So
I agree with you,
Brandon's
and I
point,
said with Liv
that
a few months ago that next summer we must address attacking department and the midfielder.
You're saying we should keep. You're
These
saying
two
we should keep
departments we
Elneny as
must
a backup.
reinforce
That's what I'm
with
saying.
top
You're
players.
saying, I'm just breaking it down. You're saying that we should keep Elneny and keep Eddie Nketiah as backup.
For me, as a bench players, they are very good. Bench player, that's starting. Not
Hold on,
starting.
Mo. Let me ask, right? When you look at other teams above us, the Chelseas, the Man Cities, and Liverpools of this world, look who they have coming off their bench when they need to make a change, right? We don't want the likes. We don't want to have to keep relying on the likes of Elneny and Nketiah and a faltering Pepe and all these types of players that aren't cutting it. I mean, Pepe for me is a frustrating one because I think there's a player in there, but nonetheless, these other teams have better squad depth, and you can improve on this squad depth. For example, look at Leeds going down at the moment. You've got the likes of Rafinha and Phillips available in a team of Leeds. Phillips would improve our midfield 100%, and you would rather have Phillips and Partey or those sort of ilk than an Elneny to rely on. The striker situation, I think we can better Nketiah. The way we should be looking at it, in my opinion, is if we get top 4 despite these weaknesses, we should be strengthening these weaknesses next season.
Yeah,
because I agree. I agree. Right? I agree. Just 2 points. First point. Don't compare any team now in the league with Liverpool and Man City. They are now.
It was an example.
Now we are talking now. Second point.
I agree with that. But okay,
second point, Liv, and it's a question for you. It's an answer for me and a question for you at the same time. When Nketiah and Elneny entered the first 11 in a crucial part of the season, does the team becomes more balanced and good performance, and we played well and get the results or not? Did they played well or not? They did the job or not?
They did 100%. They did their job. I see what you're saying.
Against who? Against Chelsea, West Ham United, against top teams. We must bear in mind.
They're not top of the moment. These players are good, yeah. As in Nketiah and Elneny that have come in and they've done the job this season. They're good to get Arsenal to where we are now. We're talking about next season pushing further than that. We don't want to be. We don't want to be this club that's stuck in top 4 again. We need to progress even further. And
I agree.
To do that, we need to upgrade on the likes of Elneny, the likes of Nketiah.
I agree.
As well as everywhere else. That's why I'm saying we need 8 players.
I agree with you that we must bring another world-class striker to lead the line and another top midfielder. And Nketiah and Elneny, if they stays, they will be backups. This is my points next season. I agree with you.
Yeah, and we're just saying they're not good as backups, and that's fine.
But doesn't want to be a backup. You have to. You have to take that into
Okay,
consideration.
then he leaves, and then we will bring 2 strikers.
Just like that, we'll bring 2 strikers.
Yeah,
just like that. We'll bring in 2 strikers.
Lev, it's easy. It's easy. Arsenal will bring 1 striker if Nketiah stays. If Nketiah leaves, bear in mind that Lacazette will leave 2 strikers will leave, we'll bring 2 strikers. It's as easy as this.
I want to see us get one quality world-class striker that will put the ball in the back of the net, 30 goals a season. Then we can look at the second one. But I don't think it's as easy as you say, oh, he's not signing, so we'll just go and get another one. The second one is going to...
We must.
Well, we're going to have
it's a
to,
must.
but it's not,
when
it's not
Nketiah leaves and Lacazette leaves, 2 strikers will leave. Who remains?
Well, listen, personally, I think we need to replace both anyway. So you might as well go out this summer, replace both. I wouldn't give Eddie a new contract. There's people in here saying Rob George is one of them. He just won us the game for F's sake and all this sort of thing. And like, look, just because a player wins you a game, it doesn't mean that he's the right player for the entire season. You know, there's players that have come off the bench and won Champions League finals.
It's a mentality thing, Lev. It's a mentality thing. That... Arsenal fans are okay with. I'm not having a pop at fans here, but this is the problem. We're in this. We've been psychologically programmed to believe that mediocrity and just getting top 4 is good enough. That's why you hear things like, well, you know what? Like, we shouldn't be thinking about like Man City and Liverpool. Why not? Like, it's ridiculous. As a club, we're seeing that. This is Arsenal Football Club. And we're saying that we should be thinking about...
We are building a very good team.
I agree with you. Go on.
If Arsenal give Nketiah and El Neni new deals, it's based off sentiment. Nothing else. It's based off sentiment. And that is where we fail as a football club. And that's why, you know, if that happens... then I expect Arsenal to become that same club that they was under Arsene Wenger.
You don't see this as a reward for their very good performances?
Mo, they only played well for about 4 or 5 games, man. If you play the whole good throughout the season, yes, I agree.
100%. He got rid of Leroy Sané. He walks into a team. Come on, man. This is the mentality.
No. Credit to El Neni. Credit to...
and El Neni's been a massive difference for us, by the way.
When Partey was missing, El Neni in the last few matches, most of our fans, I heard them that we are not feeling that Partey is missing.
Yeah, I do not doubt El Neni's had. Listen, I think El Neni has been a bigger change to our team than even Nketiah coming in, and I'll tell you why. Because Arteta made the mistake initially, and this is when we got a young manager still learning on the job. When we lost Partey, he put Xhaka out left back, and he didn't think about rebuilding using that old partnership of El Neni and Xhaka, who had played seasons together prior, even in the Champions League. That would have made more sense. But then when he did finally put El Neni back in there, it stopped the rot. The 3 back-to-back losses that we had, El Neni came in, secured the ship. Yes, Nketiah has done well, but he has done well. You can't deny it.
And another error Arteta committed, and I spoke with you, Lev, in this show many times, that he must have dropped Lacazette weeks before he entered Nketiah in the first 11. So his decision was very late to give Nketiah the starting spot that he deserves at the expense of Lacazette. We were playing 10 men for many games. Lacazette was not influencing our game. I said this few weeks before Nketiah started playing in the first 11. You remember, Lev?
Guys,
I remember.
Guys,
Go on.
This is an astonishing debate, one that I'm enjoying thoroughly, but we've been going on for about an hour and a half.
Astonishing, you know.
So I'm going to start with Dean, and I'm going to just go through everybody. And if I can have your final thoughts so we can round.
All right, Dean, and keep the banter up on Twitter, bro.
Yeah, well, I can't wait for you to take all the boys out for a meal when you lose.
You know about that one, yes?
Wait, I think I've just pulled it back. Hold on a minute.
You said 3-1.
I said 2-1.
No, you said 3-1.
No, this is my final thought. Yeah, I'm gonna remain positive. I think we are doing well. I think we could get a result at Spurs because I think the pressure is so much on Spurs now. And
it's in our history to win big things.
And I don't think that can be underestimated. Then that 4 points we go into that game cannot be underestimated. I think that will really help us.
Huge.
And I'm going to go one further. I think we're going to finish above Chelsea as well.
That's a good shout. We're 1 point behind them now. That could happen.
I mean, they've got Leeds at Ellen Road next Chelsea, and I don't know. I just can't see. I think
they could even drop out the top 4, and both Spurs and Arsenal get in.
Behave yourself, Lev. Behave yourself.
That enough. I really do. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a draw at Spurs. I'll be happy with a draw, more than happy with a draw at Spurs. So yeah, no, I'm happy, and long may it continue.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you, bro.
Dean. Thanks for coming on.
Dean,
No
thanks for
worries.
coming on, bro.
Enjoy the rest
Good
of
to
your day,
put a
man.
face to the name.
Take care. Mo, what about you? What's your final thoughts?
Yes, about Spurs game, just 2 points. First of all, not to concede first. I think this is the key point to have a positive result from this game, not to concede first. For example, first half, if we would finish 0-0, and if we were to nick a goal ahead from a corner or a counter attack, it'd be ideal. We'll defend and we'll play in the counter. This 1-2, our fullbacks must not give Spurs any space. It must be all the time our fullbacks or wing backs, if we played 3 at the back, must not give Spurs any spaces, Son and Kulusevski, because they are who are feeding Kane. So they must be concentrated all the time on defending and counter attack with the speedy players we have. And I hope with a good results, inshallah, and continue and achieving our goal. It was a pleasure to be with you guys today.
Likewise.
Respect,
Thank you very
Mo.
much for coming on, Mo.
Have a good
Look
one.
after yourself, yeah?
Oi, Mo, and you're not a muppet, man. I love you. Yeah, remember that.
Have a good
All
one.
right?
See you later. I just want to, before I go to Maximus for his final thought, how do you say Golu, the 0-3? Shine, please, that Arteta average midfielder line.
That is so true. That is your
Well, he
go-to
was an
line.
average midfielder.
Yeah, I don't understand why everyone wants Arteta as manager. He wasn't even that great as a player. He was average.
Like,
He was, though.
First of all, the relevance to this conversation is non-existent. That's one.
I still
Two,
like it though. Golu, thank you, bro.
he
That's a
was
good compliment.
he was an average midfielder at best.
At
I'll
best.
challenge
He
anybody.
got you to
prove
say
me
it. He got you to say. That's what he was trying to do. Get you to say it again. And he's
Yeah,
got you
well,
to say it again.
I'll say it all day long if you want, because that is the truth.
Yes,
Maximus,
love that.
your final thoughts, man.
Yeah. So, with regards to the game on Thursday, I think a draw would be great. I mean, I think if we win, obviously, would be fantastic. What I don't want is a performance that chastens our confidence going into the Newcastle game, because I think that game is going to be actually even, I don't want to say more important, but it's going to be important as well, depending on the obviously result from the Tottenham game. So I don't want anything that obviously chastens or deflates our confidence going into a game like that, because I think that would even be pivotal. Because even if we do lose to Tottenham, we still need to pick ourselves up and win the next 2 games, and I think we'll be fine. So for me personally, I just think he needs to get the players up for it. I want to see what these players are made of, because this to me would be a very good litmus test and indicator of the mettle of this team. Because if these guys go into that Tottenham game and put in a flat performance, I will be absolutely, for me personally, I would be devastated, because they know that it's on the line. They know that they need to show up. It's crunch time. This is where you earn your money. The hundreds of thousands of pounds that you guys get, they get paid. They need to show up for this game. It's a big game for the fans and for the club. So I think I just don't want to see us go flat and then derail the rest of our season. So I'm just hoping that we can pull off a result there. I think we should play reserved and try to hit them on the break. But I don't think we need to go there and try to influence the game. I think it would be a really bad idea. If we do that, we'd be playing into their hands. So it's one of those performances where, like I said, if I would accept a Marino, 1-0, really dogged, don't really give 2 shits how we get the point or the 3 points. Really don't care.
Yeah,
it's going to be horrible.
Well, listen, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, it was a pleasure being on here as usual, man. Hopefully you guys have a good one. You guys are doing a fantastic job with the podcast.
Thanks,
so yeah, you guys enjoy
Cheers,
the
man.
weekend.
Look after yourself, yeah?
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Oi, Shaheen. Wenger was a shit baller. Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
I just thought I'd mention that.
So was Mourinho. Mourinho was not even a footballer.
Mourinho couldn't even play ball.
Anyway, Brandon, your final thoughts. But listen, stay with us when we finish the show. Don't go anywhere, because I want to have a word with you.
No problem. Yeah, pretty much, today, like I said before, dominated the game, but we just lacked the killers. But we got the 3 points. That's all that matters at this stage of the season. Thursday, I think Arteta needs to match Conte up. like I say, go 5 at the back, try and push their wing backs, backwards, and then see where we go from there. I don't even think that the system is going to matter too much. I see very many similarities between Tottenham and Arsenal in terms of the team. Like defensively, I think we're pretty much on par. Attacking wise, Spurs absolutely trumps us, but I think our midfield's better than Tottenham's, and many games are won and lost in the midfield. So fingers crossed we can win that midfield battle on Thursday and sort that out. But I think it's all going to be about mentality. That's where it's going to come in. It's a big game against Tottenham. Always is. It's a North London derby, but it's got that extra meaning to it this time around. So it's all about whether the young players in this Arsenal team can pick up that mentality that I'm hoping that Arteta has brought to Arsenal, from Manchester City, that winning mentality. And just say, right, it's time for not only for us to qualify for top 4, but we're going to end their season as well. Yeah.
Oh, that'll
So
be amazing.
that to me, is where it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to the mentality, and also like I think it was Dean said it. I'll finish above Chelsea. Forget about Spurs. Forget about top 4. Let's get third.
Let's drag Chelsea into that top 4 fight. Yeah.
Exactly that. Exactly that. So that's my final thoughts. And like I said, now that Arteta's had the contract, I think fans have got to start looking elsewhere now, rather than this Arteta in, Arteta out debate, which has almost become boring now. Do you know what I mean? There's fans out there like myself that don't like the manager that much. There's fans out there that love the manager, but ultimately, when it all comes down to it, who is to blame if things go wrong at Arsenal? Not Arteta, really. If somebody offers you £6 million a year, are you going to take it? Of course you are. Of course you are. So it's down to the Cronkies now for me, and I'm going to be very intrigued to see this summer if we get the business done that we need to get done, and if we make that progress further on to where we are at the moment, or if we go back to being that same Arsenal that we was under Arsene Wenger for 22 seasons in a row, and we're happy just to sit there in 4th. Let's not forget, it's the same owners running this process that ran the same process under Arsene Wenger. So I'm not too convinced just yet, but it's steady progress being made. So we'll see what happens.
Well, let's get there first. That's the first thing we're going to do. Get into that top 4, get into Champions League. I'm interested to see what we do thereafter as well. Just want to say thank to a few people in the chats before we leave. Rob George, Fitz, Dean Joseph, who suggests that Shaheen should do a little bit more research before he starts saying Arteta was an average player.
Shaheen disappeared, mate. Like,
Shaheen's
Arteta's kidnapped him for calling him.
I think his Uber Eats has turned up. That's what it is. They heard the buzzer go before he disappeared. We all heard it. Nick Paris, you come in late, bro, but good to see you. Is it Uber Eats, Shaheen? Yeah,
it was Uber Eats indeed. I ordered some nice Iranian food, so.
Did you really?
It came in exactly good time.
Is it kebab? Is that what you look for?
It is.
Kebab.
So we need to wrap up this show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, wrap it up like a kebab, yeah?
Yeah.
All right,
thanks. Thank you very much. Lev, what's your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is, look, let's keep the faith. Let's be positive. We where we weren't expecting, especially after those 3 back-to-back defeats, I thought it was over. I'm not going to lie. I tweeted out the top 4 was over. I'm not going to bullshit like others do. I'll say how it is. I did think it was over. And guess what? It's not. We're in with a brilliant shout. So let's be positive going into Thursday. Keep that positivity going. I want us to win at White Hart Lane. That's what I want. I want us to win at White Hart Lane, and I want to laugh about it because these guys have been giving it too much for too long. And even when they were on top of us positionally, they still won less trophies. So that's what I want. I want us to secure top 4 on Thursday at Shite Hart Lane. And I want you to be there with us and be here after the game with us to talk about it. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I second that. And thank you all for being here. Don't forget to join us Monday, 8 o'clock with Mo and Tom. There's a lot to discuss as well on Monday. And have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for being here. Hit the like, subscribe if you're new, and hopefully we'll see you guys on Monday at 8 o'clock. Take care.
Peace out.